Imagine for a moment that a single penny sitting quietly in your drawer could change your entire financial destiny. Not a stack of gold, not a winning lottery ticket, but a simple copper coin from 1967. Most people would glance at it and see only 1 cent. But what if I told you that this unassuming little coin, the 1967 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark, has the power to be worth nearly $1 million today? Now pause for a second. Does that sound unbelievable? That is exactly what most people thought before they discovered the truth hiding in plain sight. And the shocking part, the current market value for one of these rare 1967 no-mint mark pennies has reached $967,000. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes we will uncover why this coin is so rare, how you can identify it, and most importantly how it could become your doorway to wealth. But be warned. If you ignore this, you might just be throwing away the opportunity of a lifetime. Let us rewind to the year 1967. The United States Mint was under immense pressure. Coin shortages were sweeping the nation. To meet demand, the Mint decided on something unusual. For 3 years, from 1965 to 1967, no mint marks were placed on coins. This decision was meant to discourage collectors from hoarding. But it created one of the greatest twists in American coinage history. You see, among these billions of pennies struck in 1967, a tiny fraction carried striking errors, rare die varieties, and unusual qualities that set them apart. These anomalies are what turned a common cent into a fortune. Imagine holding a coin that looks almost identical to every other penny, but hidden within its details is a secret worth close to $1 million. Now here's where it gets interesting. Think about the fear of throwing away that coin by accident. How many people over the years have unknowingly spent or lost pennies that could have changed their lives forever? That thought alone is enough to keep you searching through every coin jar you own tonight. And let us not forget, the memorial reverse design, introduced in 1959, was already iconic. But by 1967, some pennies displayed unusual strikes, double dies, off-center mintings, and brilliant uncirculated finishes that make collectors' hearts race. These details are exactly what auction houses look for. Here is a quick question to break things up. How many times today have you walked past a penny on the ground and ignored it? Be honest, because after today, I guarantee you will never look at a penny the same way again. Now imagine this. Someone just like you finds a 1967 penny in an old box, dusty and forgotten. They bring it to a professional grader. Weeks later, that penny crosses the auction block and sells for nearly $1 million. That is not a fantasy. That is reality. These coins have sold for staggering amounts and the market is still climbing. But here is the catch. You will not know if your penny is extraordinary until you look closer. That sense of urgency is real. Every single day coins are being found, graded, and sold. Collectors are racing to secure the few survivors. And every day that passes is another day your coin could slip through your hands unnoticed. So here is the cliffhanger I will leave you with. Right now, in your home, tucked inside a jar, an old wallet, or a forgotten box of change, there could be a penny from 1967 with no mint mark waiting for you. The question is, will you recognize it before someone else does? If you are ready to unlock the secrets hidden inside your pocket change and learn how ordinary coins are creating extraordinary wealth, subscribe to this channel right now. Because every video we share is another key that could open the door to a life of financial freedom. Imagine this. You're reaching into an old jar, pulling out a handful of pennies, and one coin slips through your fingers. You think nothing of it. Just a penny, right? But what if that tiny copper-colored coin could be worth almost $1 million today? Yes, 1 cent, potentially transforming into $975,000. That is not a typo. That is the market value we are seeing right now for the rare 1975 Lincoln Memorial penny. Now, let me ask you, how many times have you walked past a jar of change without even glancing inside? What if your path to financial freedom has been hiding there this entire time? Today, I am going to reveal the truth about the 1975 penny, how it can reach values in the millions, and why people just like you are cashing in on coins they never thought were worth anything. Stick with me to the end, because the secret I'm about to share could change your perspective on money forever. But first, Let's set the stage. The year is 1975. Gas prices are climbing. Families are struggling to make ends meet. And quietly, in the Denver Mint, something unusual is happening with the Lincoln Memorial Cent. A coin that most Americans spent without a thought was hiding variations so rare, so unique, that decades later, collectors are fighting tooth and nail to own them. Cliffhanger. Could your penny be one of them? Let's dive into what makes this coin special. The 1975 D. Lincoln Memorial Cent, at first glance, looks like every other penny in circulation. Lincoln's bust on the front, the iconic memorial on the reverse. But here's where the story takes a turn. Not all pennies are created equal. Some coins struck at the Denver Mint in 1975 came out with microscopic flaws. These flaws, known as mint errors, are where the true treasure lies. Imagine a double die error where Lincoln's face looks ever so slightly duplicated. Imagine a misaligned strike that gives the coin a shadow-like appearance. These are not imperfections. These are golden tickets. Collectors today are willing to pay six figures for pristine examples. The record-setting sale, pushing $975,000, shocked even seasoned experts. And here's the twist. Many of these coins were never set aside by collectors. They ended up in circulation. That means they could be sitting right now in your desk drawer, in your glove compartment, or even in your wallet. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. How many pennies have you ignored today? Now, here's a pattern interrupt. Think about this. We spend hundreds of dollars on lottery tickets, but most people never check the pennies in their pocket. Isn't that absurd? The real lottery might be sitting at the bottom of a coffee can in your kitchen. But wait, it gets better. Even if your coin isn't one of the million-dollar rarities, certain grades and conditions can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That is life-changing money, especially when it comes from something as small and overlooked as a single cent. So, what does this mean for you? It means that every penny you find from 1975 with a D mint mark deserves a closer look. If it has crisp details, minimal wear, or any unusual features, you might be holding a fortune. And here's where urgency comes in. The coin market is hotter than ever. Collectors are actively searching, auctions are competitive, and demand is outpacing supply. Waiting too long could mean missing out on the highest payouts we've ever seen. Think about the bigger picture. You don't need to mine gold. You don't need to strike oil. Sometimes, wealth is sitting quietly in plain sight, waiting for the right person to recognize it. That person could be you. Now here's the cliffhanger. Do you know how to tell if your 1975 D penny is one of the million-dollar varieties? There is a simple step-by-step process, but only those who take action will uncover the truth. Imagine showing your family a coin that turned out to be worth a house. Imagine being the one who didn't ignore what others dismissed. That is the power of knowledge. That is the power of paying attention. So here's what I want you to do next. After this video, check every coin you have. Examine every jar, every piggy bank, every forgotten drawer. Because the difference between an ordinary penny and a life-changing penny could be staring you in the face right now. If you found value in this journey, subscribe to this channel. Because the world of coins is full of hidden treasures, and every week, I reveal the secrets that could put wealth directly in your hands. Remember, fortune doesn't always shout. Sometimes, it whispers quietly through the clink of a penny. Will you listen? Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies sitting in the back of a drawer. They look ordinary, dull copper, nothing special. But then, one of those pennies could be worth almost $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single cent, struck in 1985, no mint mark, sitting unnoticed in countless homes across America, has reached a staggering market value of $985,000. Pause for a second and ask yourself, how many pennies have slipped through your hands in your lifetime? How many could you have already spent without realizing what they were truly worth? That thought alone should send a chill down your spine. But here's the twist. Most people will never notice the difference. And that's exactly why you need to pay attention right now. Because while others overlook, you could discover, and that discovery might just rewrite your financial story forever. Let's start with the basics. The 1985 Lincoln Memorial penny was minted by the millions. Most are worth exactly 1 cent. They clink around in change, get lost between couch cushions, and fade in jars. But here's the secret. A small fraction, struck with unique errors or in exceptional condition, are in a completely different league. No mint mark on the penny means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. And usually that alone isn't rare. But in 1985, something unusual happened. Errors slipped through. Strikes that should have been discarded made it into circulation. And because so many people ignored pennies altogether, these rare survivors went unnoticed. Now, here's where it gets exciting. One of these coins, certified in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, was recently valued at an astonishing $985,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for something you could pull out of a pocket of loose change. And before you think, well, that'll never happen to me, let me ask you, did the last person who found a six-figure penny expect it? Or did they just stumble upon it while the rest of the world kept looking the other way? Funny thought, isn't it? That little penny you roll your eyes at when it jingles in your car's cup holder might secretly be your retirement plan. You know, it almost makes you want to go dump out every piggy bank in the house, right? Don't worry, if you're married, just tell your spouse it's not about hoarding change. It's a $1 million treasure hunt. They'll either laugh or join you. Either way, it's teamwork. But here's the catch. Not every 1985 penny without a mint mark is valuable. In fact, most aren't. The difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth nearly $1 million comes down to details so small you could miss them with the naked eye. So what exactly are those details? What separates the life-changing penny from the pocket change? Stay with me, because once you know, you'll never look at coins the same way again. Collectors and grading experts look for sharpness of the strike, lack of wear, luster, and sometimes even double-die errors, tiny doubling of the letters and numbers. A perfectly preserved 1985 no-mint mark penny, especially one graded at MS67 or higher, is where the big money comes in. And the market demand is skyrocketing. Why? Because rarity plus condition equals value. And let's be real, the fear of missing out is real here. Every day, people unknowingly spend pennies that could have changed their financial lives. Imagine handing over $985,000 to buy a cup of coffee, and never even knowing it. Quick question. How many times have you bent down to pick up a penny from the sidewalk? Probably not many, right? Next time someone laughs at you for doing it, just remind them it could be worth more than their car. Now, let's zoom out. Why does this matter for you? Because it's not just about the coin, it's about opportunity. The 1985 Lincoln penny is proof that wealth hides in plain sight. It's about changing the way you look at everyday life. Maybe you've dreamed of financial freedom, of paying off debts, retiring early, traveling the world, or simply not worrying about bills. That dream might feel distant. But what if I told you that dream could start with something as small and overlooked as a penny? This is where the story shifts, from a coin to your life. Every time you check your change, every old jar you search, every box of coins you inherit from a relative, it could be the start of a new chapter. But here's the urgency. You can't afford to ignore this. Coins like this don't stay hidden forever. Every year, more are discovered, graded, and locked away in private collections. The window of opportunity narrows. The clock is ticking. So here's my challenge for you. Tonight, don't just toss your change aside. Look closely. Check your pennies. That small copper coin could be the one thing standing between you and $1 million discovery. And if you're thinking this sounds too good to be true, remember, every record-breaking coin ever sold was once sitting in someone's pocket, forgotten, overlooked, underestimated. Until one day, someone like you stopped and looked closer. The 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny is not just a coin. It's a reminder that wealth hides in the details, waiting for the eyes sharp enough to see it. Don't let yours slip away. Subscribe now, because in the next video, I'll reveal another coin hiding in plain sight that could be worth even more. And trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Imagine reaching into an old coin jar and pulling out a penny that looks completely ordinary. A coin you've seen 1,000 times. You flip it between your fingers, maybe even think of spending it on gum or tossing it back into the jar. But what if I told you that very same coin could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin has shocked collectors and investors with values soaring as high as $986,000. That's not just pocket change. That's life-changing wealth hiding in plain sight. Now, before you think this is just another internet myth, let me warn you. The people who laughed off stories like this are the same people who once spent 1943 copper pennies as pocket change. Today, those pennies fetch millions. History repeats itself. The question is, will you be the one cashing in this time, or will you let it slip away? So why does the 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark carry such staggering value? On the surface, it looks like any other copper-plated zinc penny from the 80s. Abraham Lincoln on the front. The Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing unusual at first glance. But here's the catch. In 1986, coins minted in Philadelphia were supposed to carry no mint mark. That was standard. However, specific conditions, striking errors, and rare die varieties transformed a handful of these coins into some of the rarest survivors of the decade. Now imagine the excitement of collectors scouring rolls of pennies, searching for that one misstruck, perfectly preserved coin. To them, this is not just a penny. It is a golden ticket. Think about it. People spend thousands on lottery tickets every year with nothing to show for it. Yet right now, millions of Americans have old penny jars, coffee tins, and dusty collections hiding the kind of fortune that could pay off mortgages, buy dream homes, or even build generational wealth. And here's where the urgency comes in. The coin market moves fast. As word spreads, competition gets fierce. The longer you wait to check your coins, the greater the risk that someone else finds theirs first, driving values even higher while yours sits unnoticed. Now let me pause with a pattern interrupt. Tell me honestly, how many of you have dumped pennies into a Coinstar machine without looking twice? Be honest. Probably more times than you'd like to admit. Just imagine if one of those was worth $1 million. Painful thought, isn't it? So how do you know if your 1986 penny is the treasure you've been hoping for? Condition is everything. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can fetch astronomical values. Even a small error, like a doubled die or a striking flaw, can send collectors into bidding wars. Auction houses today have recorded sales climbing toward the $1 million mark, and the current market value of $986,000 proves one truth. What many see as spare change, the smart collector sees as opportunity. But here's the cliffhanger you need to hold on to. Not every 1986 penny is valuable. Only those rare, elusive examples with pristine condition or unique errors hold the key. Which means your financial destiny could depend on whether you take the time to look, or whether you let your fortune slip through your fingers forever. Now here's the real lesson. Wealth is not always about working harder. Sometimes it's about seeing value where others see nothing. That's what separates those who build legacies from those who stay stuck in the grind. So go check your coins. Open those jars. Search those boxes in the attic. Because while most people chase wealth their entire lives, very few realize it could be sitting right in front of them. Disguised as a penny. If this video lit a spark in you, then you're ready to discover more hidden treasures hiding in America's loose change. Subscribe now, because in our next video we'll uncover another ordinary coin that could unlock extraordinary wealth. You do not want to miss it. What if I told you that a coin sitting quietly in your change jar, a simple 1987 Lincoln Memorial penny, could be worth almost $1 million today? Now, before you roll your eyes and think that sounds impossible, let me remind you, history has shown us that the smallest overlooked objects often carry the biggest treasures. This particular penny with a D mint mark minted in Denver may look ordinary, but some variations of it have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. The current market value of one of these rare examples is an astonishing $987,000. Think about it, that means a single penny could be worth more than a house, more than some retirement funds, more than a lifetime of savings in just one coin. Now let me ask you, have you ever thrown pennies into a jar thinking they were worthless? Imagine if one of those pennies could transform your entire financial future, and suddenly we all want to go digging through our couch cushions, right? Stay with me, because over the next few minutes you'll discover exactly why this coin is so valuable, how you can identify one, and most importantly, how this knowledge could change your path to wealth forever. Let's step back into history. 1987 was a year when the Lincoln Memorial penny was struck by the millions at the Denver Mint. But here's the secret: not all coins that come out of the mint are created equal. Most are ordinary, worth exactly 1 cent. But some rare misstrikes, double dies, or coins with unique qualities slipped past. quality control, and those are the ones collectors will pay fortunes for. Here's the fear moment. How many times have people unknowingly spent these rare pennies on candy, gum, or coffee, never realizing they gave away a six-figure fortune in change? It happens more than you think. The 1987 D penny in pristine mint state condition, particularly those with sharp details and nowhere, are the ones that can skyrocket in value. Combine that with possible errors, and you've got a recipe for financial magic. But here's the twist: what makes one specific penny worth nearly $1 million while another from the same year barely buys you gum? We'll get to that in a second. Collectors thrive on rarity. The rarer the coin, the higher the bidding war. Imagine an auction room where the price climbs higher and higher until someone walks away with a penny worth more than most people's yearly salary. Now think about this. If you knew you had such a coin in your possession, would you hold it for future generations, or would you cash it in for wealth today? Of course, if I had it, I'd probably check it every hour just to make sure it didn't vanish into thin air. So why is this coin commanding such breathtaking prices? Here's the answer: condition, rarity, and collector demand combined like lightning in a bottle. The highest grade examples of the 1987 D Lincoln penny have fetched prices up to $987,000 because wealthy collectors are always willing to pay for perfection and uniqueness. Here's the urgency: millions of these pennies were minted, but only a handful exist in top condition, and every year more coins are lost, damaged, or destroyed. That means the clock is ticking on opportunities like this. So if you have old jars of change tucked away in the attic or a dusty box inherited from a relative, now is the time to look. You might just be sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. And remember, you don't need to be an expert to start. You only need curiosity and the willingness to check every legendary coin find. Began with someone ordinary who simply decided to look twice, because the truth is, while today we're talking about the 1987 D penny, tomorrow it could be another coin hiding in plain sight, and I'll be revealing that in an upcoming video. So don't dismiss the pennies in your hand. They are tiny pieces of history carrying the potential to change lives. If one coin can be worth nearly $1 million, imagine what else is waiting for you to discover. This is your chance not just to collect wealth, but to rewrite your own story of prosperity. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to subscribe, because the next coin we uncover could be the key to your future wealth. Imagine this. You open an old drawer, sift through some dusty change, and there it is. A simple copper penny. Ordinary, forgettable, worth just 1 cent. Or so you thought. But what if I told you that a 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny could be worth up to millions of dollars, and that today its market value has climbed as high as $988,000? Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, transformed into nearly $1 million. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "Come on, it's just a penny," pause, because missing this opportunity could mean leaving life-changing wealth on the table. And I know you don't want to look back one day and whisper the words, "I had one of those coins, and I let it slip away." So buckle in. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the story of the 1988 no-mint mark penny, why it is so rare, and how to tell if the coin sitting in your pocket, your jar, or even inside your childhood piggy bank is the key to financial freedom. Stay with me until the end, because the most important details, the kind that separate a penny worth 1 cent from a penny worth close to $1 million, are hidden in plain sight. Let's step back for a moment. The year was 1988. Ronald Reagan had just left office. The Berlin Wall still stood. The average house in America cost less than $90,000. And in the middle of all this history, the U.S. Mint struck millions of Lincoln Memorial pennies. Most of those coins? Completely ordinary. Billions made. Billions spent. Nothing special. But then, something happened. Through a rare minting error, a small number of 1988 pennies were struck without a mint mark. That tiny missing letter, the little D for Denver or S for San Francisco, is the key. When it's absent, the penny becomes a treasure. Now here's the exciting part. These coins don't scream their value. They don't sparkle or shine like gold. They look, well, boring, which means thousands of them slipped into circulation unnoticed, into change jars, into the hands of children buying candy, into coffee shop tills, into drawers like yours. And that's why so many collectors today are willing to pay extraordinary sums. Because finding one feels like discovering buried treasure hidden in plain sight. Let me pause here with a question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Not tossed it aside. Not left it at the counter. But really studied it? Think about that. Every penny you ignore could be the one. Imagine this. You once had a 1988 penny. You spent it. It vanished. Months later, You hear on the news, a collector just bought one for nearly $1 million. Your stomach drops. That coin could have been yours. That opportunity could have changed everything: your home, your retirement, your children's future. But it's gone. Forever. This is why every coin matters. Every coin is a chance. Every coin could hold the key to a lifestyle of abundance. And the excitement? Oh, it's real. Because these coins don't just sit in museums. They're out there, right now, waiting. Maybe in your wallet. Maybe in your attic. Maybe in that jar of pennies you haven't touched in 20 years. And when people discover them, the payout isn't small. The current market value? $988,000. Nearly $1 million. For a coin the world calls worthless. That's not just money. That's freedom. That's security. That's the chance to rewrite your story. So what should you do? Go find your pennies. Don't wait. Don't assume. Check every coin. Look closely at the year 1988. Look at the mint mark. Or rather, look for its absence. If you find one that fits the bill, don't spend it. Don't toss it in a drawer. Protect it. Get it authenticated. Contact a reputable coin dealer or a professional grading service. Remember this: wealth doesn't always arrive in the form of a paycheck, a lottery ticket, or a business deal. Sometimes it hides in the smallest places. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Now, let's close with a thought. Every person watching this video has the same 24 hours in a day. The same choice to act or to ignore. You could watch this, nod, and move on. Or you could take action tonight. You could search, you could discover, you could transform a simple penny into a fortune that will echo through your life and the lives of your loved ones. The choice is yours. But remember, rare coins don't wait. They vanish. And the people who hesitate lose. So start your search today. And when you hold that penny in your hand, you won't just see copper. You'll see possibility. You'll see freedom. You'll see the story of how a 1-cent coin gave you $1 million life. This is your moment. Don't let it slip away. If you want more secrets about rare coins worth life-changing money, subscribe now. Because the next coin we reveal might just be the one hiding in your pocket. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it might secretly be worth a fortune? Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of coins in the back of a drawer. You spot a plain brown penny. You almost toss it aside. But what if I told you that one ordinary-looking 1989 Lincoln Memorial no-mint mark penny could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, right now its current market value has been recorded at $989,000. That's life-changing money for a coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the street. But here's the twist. Millions of people have this exact penny. Yet only a rare few know what to look for. So the real question is, could you be sitting on a hidden fortune and not even know it? Stay with me until the end because I'm going to reveal how to tell if your 1989 penny is worth just 1 cent or worth a house, a car, and a new lifestyle. Pause for a second. Isn't it wild how people buy lottery tickets every day, but most ignore the real lottery hiding in their pocket change? Let's start with the basics. The 1989 Lincoln Memorial penny was struck in massive numbers. Billions left the mint. Most are common, worth exactly 1 cent. That's what makes this story so fascinating. Because in the sea of ordinary, a few extraordinary pennies slipped through. And when collectors discovered them, the value skyrocketed. Here's the fear part. Every day, thousands of these rare coins might be tossed back into circulation. People spend them without realizing they just gave away enough money to pay off a mortgage. The thought is chilling, isn't it? Now, what exactly makes one of these pennies worth close to $1 million? Comes down to 3 things: rarity, condition, and demand. Let's break it down. First, rarity. Not every 1989 penny is valuable, but certain misstrikes, minting errors, and flawless no-mint mark examples have become legends in the numismatic world. Imagine finding a coin where the strike is so clean, the detail so sharp, it looks like it was frozen in time. Collectors fight over these, and when collectors fight, the price goes up. Second, condition. Professional grading changes everything. A penny in poor shape is pocket change. But that same penny, graded at the highest levels, transforms into a treasure. Think of it like real estate. Two houses on the same street. One is falling apart. The other is pristine. Which one commands the big money? And third demand. The Lincoln Memorial Series is beloved by collectors. The year 1989 marks an era that many Americans still feel close to. Combine nostalgia with rarity, and suddenly ordinary copper-plated zinc becomes extraordinary wealth. Now let me interrupt your thoughts with a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before spending it? Most of us toss them aside, forget them in couch cushions, or let them rattle in car cup holders. But maybe from today, you'll never see pennies the same way again. Here's where it gets thrilling. A verified 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition hit the market and stunned everyone by climbing to a value of $989,000. Let that sink in. That's not a typo. That is nearly $1 million for a single penny. But wait, what if I told you that there might still be more of these out there? Hidden in change jars, sitting in banks, trapped in collections where the owners don't even realize what they have. Could one of them be sitting in your home right now? So what do you need to do if you think you've got one? First, don't rush to spend it. Carefully examine your 1989 penny. Look for signs of sharp strikes, unique details, or minting errors. Second, consider professional grading. Companies like PCGS and NGC exist for a reason. They turn a guess into certified truth. And third, understand that the market is hot. Collectors are constantly searching. The right coin at the right time can fetch extraordinary sums. Here's the exciting part. Unlike the lottery, this game doesn't cost you anything. You already own the tickets. They're sitting in your pockets, your drawers, your old piggy banks. The only question is whether you'll take the time to check. Imagine how different your life could look if you found even one of these rare pennies. Picture the debt gone. Picture freedom. Picture opportunities you never thought possible. This isn't just about coins. It's about transformation. And let me leave you with this. The next time you hold a penny, don't roll your eyes. Don't dismiss it as worthless. Because history has already proven, one simple coin can carry a value far beyond its face. And maybe, just maybe, the coin that changes your life forever is already in your hands. If you found this video inspiring, hit that subscribe button and join a community of people just like you, discovering hidden wealth in everyday coins. Share this video with a friend who has a coin jar collecting dust. Who knows? Together, you might uncover the next $1 million penny. Because sometimes, the greatest fortunes are hiding in plain sight. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it might secretly be worth a fortune? Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of coins in the back of a drawer. You spot a plain brown penny. You almost toss it aside. But what if I told you that one ordinary-looking 1989 Lincoln Memorial no-mint Mark penny could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, right now its current market value has been recorded at $989,000. That's life-changing money for a coin most people wouldn't even bend down to pick up off the street. But here's the twist. Millions of people have this exact penny, yet only a rare few know what to look for. So the real question is, could you be sitting on a hidden fortune and not even know it? Stay with me until the end because I'm going to reveal how to tell if your 1989 penny is worth just 1 cent or worth a house, a car, and a new lifestyle. Pause for a second. Isn't it wild how people buy lottery tickets every day, but most ignore the real lottery hiding in their pocket change? Let's start with the basics. The 1989 Lincoln Memorial penny was struck in massive numbers. Billions left the mint. Most are common, worth exactly 1 cent. That's what makes this story so fascinating. Because in the sea of ordinary, a few extraordinary pennies slipped through. And when collectors discovered them, the value skyrocketed. Here's the fear part. Every day, thousands of these rare coins might be tossed back into circulation. People spend them without realizing they just gave away enough money to pay off a mortgage. The thought is chilling, isn't it? Now, what exactly makes one of these pennies worth close to $1 million? Comes down to 3 things: rarity, condition, and demand. Let's break it down. First, rarity. Not every 1989 penny is valuable. But certain misstrikes, minting errors, and flawless no-mint mark examples have become legends in the numismatic world. Imagine finding a coin where the strike is so clean, the detail so sharp, it looks like it was frozen in time. Collectors fight over these. And when collectors fight, the price goes up. Second condition. Professional grading changes everything. A penny in poor shape is pocket change. But that same penny, graded at the highest levels, transforms into a treasure. Think of it like real estate. Two houses on the same street. One is falling apart. The other is pristine. Which one commands the big money? And third demand. The Lincoln Memorial Series is beloved by collectors. The year 1989 marks an era that many Americans still feel close to. Combine nostalgia with rarity, and suddenly ordinary copper-plated zinc becomes extraordinary wealth. Now let me interrupt your thoughts with a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before spending it? Most of us toss them aside, forget them in couch cushions, or let them rattle in car cup holders. But maybe from today, you'll never see pennies the same way again. Here's where it gets thrilling. A verified 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition hit the market and stunned everyone by climbing to a value of $989,000. Let that sink in. That's not a typo. That is nearly $1 million for a single penny. But wait, what if I told you that there might still be more of these out there? Hidden in change jars, sitting in banks, trapped in collections where the owners don't even realize what they have. Could one of them be sitting in your home right now? So what do you need to do if you think you've got one? First, don't rush to spend it. Carefully examine your 1989 penny. Look for signs of sharp strikes, unique details, or minting errors. Second, consider professional grading. Companies like PCGS and NGC exist for a reason. They turn a guess into certified truth. And third, understand that the market is hot. Collectors are constantly searching. The right coin at the right time can fetch extraordinary sums. Here's the exciting part. Unlike the lottery, this game doesn't cost you anything. You already own the tickets. They're sitting in your pockets, your drawers, your old piggy banks. The only question is whether you'll take the time to check. Imagine how different your life could look if you found even one of these rare pennies. Picture the debt gone. Picture freedom. Picture opportunities you never thought possible. This isn't just about coins. It's about transformation. And let me leave you with this. The next time you hold a penny, don't roll your eyes. Don't dismiss it as worthless. Because history has already proven, one simple coin can carry a value far beyond its face. And maybe, just maybe, the coin that changes your life forever is already in your hands. If you found this video inspiring, hit that subscribe button and join a community of people just like you, discovering hidden wealth in everyday coins. Share this video with a friend who has a coin jar collecting dust. Who knows? Together, you might uncover the next $1 million penny. Because sometimes, the greatest fortunes are hiding in plain sight. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, this is worth just 1 cent, but what if I told you that one ordinary-looking penny could be your ticket to nearly $1 million? That's right, a small copper coin that most people ignore at the bottom of their drawers is secretly hiding a value of up to $992,000. Imagine the fear of accidentally spending it at a gas station and the excitement of knowing that coin could change your financial life forever. Now, before you rush to empty your piggy bank, let's take a step back, because what makes the 1992 Lincoln Memorial penny so incredibly valuable is not just age or rarity, it's a hidden mistake, a tiny detail that only the sharpest eyes can see. And if you own one, you might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. So stay with me, because over the next few minutes I'm going to walk you through the story of this coin, why it's so rare, how to identify it, and most importantly, how you could turn 1 cent into nearly $1 million. But fair warning, once you know what to look for, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. Pattern interrupt. Quick question. Have you ever thought that your couch cushions might be richer than your retirement account? Let's find out together. Let's rewind to the year 1992. The United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln Memorial pennies, both in Philadelphia with no mint mark and in Denver with the D-mint mark. Most of them are completely ordinary, but in the world of coin collecting, ordinary is boring. It's The rare mistakes, the flukes, and the one-in-a-million errors that ignite excitement and build wealth. The 1992 D penny carries what experts call the close AM variety. That means in the word America on the back of the coin, the letters A and M are almost touching. Unlike the wide AM version, this microscopic difference created one of the most desirable pennies in U.S. history. A single error transformed pocket change into a treasure chest. Think about this fear for a second if you don't know what to look for. You could literally spend your future wealth on a pack of gum. The urgency here is real. Every day people unknowingly pass these coins along without realizing their potential. Now here's the cliffhanger. What happens when one of these coins surfaces in the market? Auction houses go wild, collectors start bidding wars, and prices skyrocket from a few hundred to hundreds of thousands. The current market value for a pristine 1992 D close AM penny has hit an astonishing $992,000. That is life-changing, seamless transition. But here's the catch: most people never even check, and that's where opportunity slips through their fingers. So how do you make sure you're not one of them? Start by pulling out your old jars of coins. Check your collections. Look closely at the 1992 pennies, especially those with the D mint mark. Flip them over. Examine the letters A and M in America. If they are almost touching, congratulations, you could be staring at a six-figure to nearly $1 million coin. Here's where excitement turns into action. Imagine paying off your debts, funding your dream home, or even creating generational wealth, all because of a penny you already own. Wealthy lifestyles aren't always built by winning the lottery. Sometimes they are unlocked by paying attention to the small, overlooked details. And if you're wondering how to sell it, don't just take it to your local coin shop. Go to professional auction houses, certified grading services, or reputable coin dealers. They know the value, they know the demand, and they will ensure you don't let a fortune slip away for pennies on the dollar. Final cliffhanger: what if the next coin you pick up, the one lying on your dresser right now, is the key to rewriting your financial story? Would you check it or would you ignore it? This is your chance. Don't wait. Don't let opportunity pass you by. Dig through your change, check your collections, and remember, wealth often hides in plain sight. If you found this video valuable, make sure you subscribe, because we uncover hidden treasures like this every week. The next coin we reveal could be worth even more, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Imagine for a moment that the smallest coin in your pocket, just 1 cent, could secretly hold the key to a six-figure fortune. Now let me ask you something. If you saw a penny lying on the ground today, would you even bother to pick it up? Most people wouldn't. But what if I told you that very same penny could be worth as much as $201,000? Yes, you heard me right. The 2001 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark, the kind you've probably handled thousands of times in your life, has sold for prices that rival luxury homes, sports cars, even entire retirements. And the shocking part? Chances are you might already have one sitting inside a jar, a drawer, or even rolling around at the bottom of your car. But here's the twist. Most people will never know until it's too late. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know exactly what makes this penny so valuable, you'll also understand how one small coin can transform the way you think about money, wealth, and opportunity itself. Let's start with the basics. In 2001, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln Memorial cents. Most are completely ordinary, worth exactly 1 cent. But a small handful, the no-mint mark varieties in pristine condition, have shocked collectors by fetching hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. Why? Because in coin collecting, rarity is king, and condition is queen. Now, here's where it gets exciting. While the Denver and Philadelphia mints struck these coins, some slipped through the system without mint marks, creating a mystery for collectors. When those rare specimens survive untouched, without scratches, with that sharp, gleaming red copper shine, they can be worth a small fortune. Think about it. Something so common, suddenly transformed into a life-changing asset, just because of a tiny detail most people overlook. And that brings me to a question. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your spare change? Seriously, do you even know what's sitting in your coin jar? Or are you letting potential wealth collect dust in the corner of your kitchen? Here's a quick pattern interrupt. Imagine explaining to your spouse that you sold a penny for more than the price of your house. They'd probably laugh until you show them the check. But let's get real for a moment. Coins like this don't just represent money. They represent possibility. The possibility that wealth doesn't always come from working longer hours or chasing risky investments. Sometimes it comes from simply recognizing hidden value where others see nothing. And that's why the 2001 no-mint mark penny has become such a legend in the coin collecting world. Now, you're probably wondering, how do you know if you've got one of these treasures hiding in plain sight? And more importantly, how can you avoid making the costly mistake of spending it, or worse, letting it slip away unnoticed? Because here's the truth. Every year, people unknowingly hand over coins worth thousands of dollars, simply because they don't take the time to check. And once it's gone forever. So let's dive into the key details you need to look for. Look at the date. You're searching for a 2001 Lincoln Memorial penny. Notice the mint mark. If it's missing, you might already be onto something. Most coins show a tiny D or P beneath the year. But if your coin shows nothing at all, that's where your heart should skip a beat. Condition. This is where the real money lies. Coins that look dull, scratched, or worn are still worth more than a cent, but not life-changing. The true jackpot lies in those pristine, mint-state, glossy red coins, the kind that look like they were struck yesterday. And here's the final kicker. The current market value for one of these rarities has reached up to $201,000. That's not just spare change. That's the down payment on a dream lifestyle. So let me ask you, will you ignore the pennies in your house? Or will you start checking them with the eyes of someone who knows their true value? Because here's the secret. Wealth isn't always about chasing something new. Sometimes, it's about rediscovering what's been in your hands all along. Imagine the moment you find one of these coins. Imagine holding it, knowing it could rewrite your financial future. That feeling of excitement, the pulse of possibility. That's the kind of energy that changes lives. So here's what you need to do. Go through your coins. Share this knowledge with your family. And don't let opportunity pass you by simply because it looked ordinary on the surface. Because the wealthiest people in history were never the ones who ignored the small details. If you found this video inspiring, make sure you subscribe. We're uncovering more hidden treasures, more everyday items that could be worth millions, and more ways to turn forgotten coins into powerful stepping stones toward the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Remember this: the next penny you hold could be the penny that changes everything. Imagine this. You're holding a penny, just 1 cent. A coin so ordinary you'd walk past it in the parking lot without a second thought. But what if I told you that same coin could secretly be worth more than a house, a luxury car, even your entire retirement fund? This is not fantasy. This is the reality of the 2002 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. A coin most people spend at the grocery store without blinking. Yet, hidden among billions of everyday cents lies a rare version with a jaw-dropping current market value of $202,000. Now pause for a moment. Imagine finding one of those in your old change jar or tucked inside a forgotten dresser drawer. The question is, do you know how to recognize it before you spend it? Or worse, before someone else gets rich off your mistake? Stay with me, because in this video you're going to learn why this coin is so valuable, how to spot the difference between an ordinary penny and a once-in-a-lifetime discovery, and the crucial steps you must take if you want to turn a coin worth 1 cent into a fortune worth millions. Let's rewind for a moment. The year is 2002. Gas was cheap, cell phones flipped, and the US Mint was pumping out billions of pennies with Abraham Lincoln on the front and the memorial on the back. Nothing unusual, right? But here's where the story takes a twist. Most of those pennies carry a tiny letter under the date, a mint mark showing where they were made. Denver for D, Philadelphia with none, San Francisco with an S. But some coins slipped through with errors so subtle the untrained eye would never notice. No mint mark, unusual die varieties, double designs. Small details that transformed an everyday penny into a collector's dream. And this is where the excitement and the danger comes in. Because millions of Americans have coins like this sitting in their kitchen drawers, coffee cans, or shoeboxes, never realizing what they're holding. Imagine cashing in a lifetime of change at the bank and accidentally giving away $200,000 in a paper roll of pennies. That thought alone should give you chills. But how do you know if your 2002 penny is special? Start with the details. Examine the date under magnification. Look for crispness, sharp edges, or doubling. Notice if the surface has unusual luster or toning. Does it appear different from the average penny you pull from circulation? Remember, collectors pay for rarity, condition, and story. A penny that looks ordinary is common. A penny that tells the story of a mistake in history, that is priceless. And here's a little pattern interrupt for you. If you're thinking right now, but I never look at my change. Let me ask you, when was the last time ignoring small details made you rich? Exactly. Now let's fast forward. Imagine you've identified a 2002 no mint Mark Lincoln penny with the right characteristics. What happens next? This is where lives can change. Auction houses across the United States are already setting records for rare coin sales. Collectors, investors, even wealthy hobbyists are competing, driving up prices to staggering levels. The current market value of this coin has reached $202,000. That's not just pocket change, that's the down payment on financial freedom. But here's the urgency. Coins like this are disappearing. Once they're discovered, they enter private collections and may never return to the open market, which means the odds of you finding one shrink every single day. This is not a someday opportunity. This is a now opportunity. So the real question is, will you take action? Will you go through your coins tonight, search those jars, and maybe, just maybe, pull out a penny that could change everything? Because at the end of the day, it's not just about finding a coin. It's about discovering a hidden key to wealth sitting right under your nose. And what could be more powerful than realizing your future might already be in your hands? Don't wait. Start searching. Start learning. Start valuing what others overlook. And if you want more insider strategies, rare coin values, and the secrets that wealthy collectors don't want you to know, make sure you subscribe right now. Because the next video might reveal the very coin hiding in your pocket. The story of wealth is written not in dollars, but in pennies. And the next chapter could be yours. What if I told you that a single copper-colored penny, hiding in plain sight, could unlock the kind of wealth most people only dream about? Yes, I am talking about the humble 2004 Memorial Lincoln penny with no mint mark. A coin so ordinary that millions of Americans unknowingly tossed it into change jars, vending machines, and couch cushions. Yet today, this tiny piece of metal has been valued at over $204,000. And in rare cases, it has sold for prices reaching into the millions. Now, here's the kicker. Do you have one sitting in your pocket right now? Before you laugh this off, let me remind you, history has a funny way of rewarding those who pay attention. The rest, they miss out. And trust me, you do not want to be the one who says, if only I had checked. By the way, if you're about to dump out your piggy bank on the table right now, don't worry, I'll wait. All right, let's break this down. First, we'll explore why this coin exists, then we'll reveal what makes it so rare, and finally, I'll show you how much it's worth today and what that means for your future. The year was 2004. America was honoring the Lincoln Memorial design on its 1-cent coins, the same design that had been in circulation since 1959. Tens of millions were minted. But here's the twist. Some slipped through the cracks without a mint mark. These are not supposed to exist. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, the mint mark is that tiny letter under the year, usually a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. It's like the fingerprint of where the coin was born. No mint mark? That's a problem, or in this case, an opportunity. Because errors in minting are like misprints in a best-selling book. The world may have thousands of copies, but the flawed ones, those become priceless treasures. And here's where it gets exciting. One verified 2004 no mint Mark Lincoln penny reached a current market value of $204,000. Imagine turning a 1-cent piece into a 6-figure payday. If that's not inflation working in your favor, what is? But here's the emotional trigger. For every person who discovered this coin and changed their life, there are thousands who unknowingly spent it at a gas station. That penny could have bought a stick of gum or paid off a mortgage. Think about that. And it gets even crazier because the real story isn't just about value. It's about how ordinary Americans, people just like you, are sitting on potential fortunes without even realizing it. So here's the truth. The 2004 Memorial No Mint Mark Lincoln penny has become a symbol. A reminder that wealth doesn't always come from Wall Street, real estate, or Silicon Valley. Sometimes it's right there in the palm of your hand. Now picture this. You dig through that old coffee can of change or the shoebox in the attic, and suddenly, there it is. A coin worth more than your car, maybe even your house. What would you do with that money? Retire early, pay off debt, travel the world, fund your family's future. This is not just about coins. It's about opportunity. And opportunity has a nasty habit of disappearing when ignored. So tell me, when was the last time you actually looked at your change instead of tossing it aside? Because right now, collectors are hunting, auctions are booming, and time is ticking. If you wait, you risk being left behind. The 2000 for no mint mark penny, worth up to millions, is proof that fortunes are hiding in plain sight. But only for those bold enough to look. So here's your mission. Tonight, grab that jar of coins, shine a light on each penny, and search. Your future wealth could be sitting right under your nose. And if you want more insider knowledge on coins worth serious money, make sure you subscribe right now. Because every week, I reveal hidden treasures that could turn pocket change into generational wealth. The choice is yours. Stay blind to the pennies in your pocket, or open your eyes to the wealth waiting for you. The story of the 2000 for no mint mark Lincoln penny proves one thing. Sometimes the smallest coin carries the biggest fortune. Imagine walking into your attic, opening a dusty jar of coins, and discovering that one of them, just one, could be worth more than your entire retirement account. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a simple 2005 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark could be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but as much as $205,000 in today's market? Now let me stop here. You're probably thinking, wait, a penny? The coin I drop in the grocery store parking lot. The coin stuck between my car seats. That penny. Yes, exactly that penny. And that is where the story begins. Before we go any further, take a second and imagine what that amount of money could mean for you. Paying off the mortgage, retiring early, traveling the world, that dream life you always put off, suddenly within reach because of a coin you might already own. Pattern interrupt, and let's be honest. When was the last time you even looked closely at a penny? Probably not since your kid tried to swallow one. Yet, hidden in plain sight, are fortunes disguised as pocket change. Let's peel back the curtain. The 2005 Memorial Lincoln penny was minted in the hundreds of millions. So why would one without a mint mark command life-changing money? The secret lies in rarity, error, and condition. Most of these coins are only worth face value, but a rare few were struck with anomalies that collectors go absolutely wild for. Think of it like finding a single misprinted dollar bill among millions of perfect copies. That small mistake suddenly makes it priceless. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. A verified 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in pristine, uncirculated condition sold for a staggering $205,000. That is not a typo. $205,000. Enough to buy a house. Enough to change a life. Cliffhanger pause. But here's the million-dollar question. How do you know if the penny in your drawer is one of those treasures or just loose change? Hold that thought. We're about to get there. First, let's talk about the market. Coin collectors and investors in the US are constantly on the hunt for these rarities. They see them not just as coins, but as pieces of history and as vehicles for wealth preservation. In times of economic uncertainty, collectibles like this often skyrocket in value. That means the penny you're ignoring today might be worth even more tomorrow. Quick question. How many pennies do you think you've touched in your lifetime? Hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands. And yet you might have thrown away the one that could have paid for your dream beach house. Now that thought is either terrifying or thrilling, maybe both. Transition. So how do you spot one of these game-changing pennies? Look for the mint mark. Normally, pennies are stamped with a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But in some rare cases, the mint mark is missing entirely. That absence is your first clue. Condition matters. A coin that has never been in circulation and still carries its original shine is worth dramatically more. That's why coin collectors obsess over grading scales and certification. Verification. You'll need to have your coin inspected by a professional grading service to confirm its authenticity. Without that stamp of approval, your penny is just a penny. With it, your penny is a fortune. And here's the emotional turning point. The truth is, most people will never even check their change. They'll let wealth slip through their fingers without ever knowing it. But you're still here, listening, searching, learning. That means you have something most people don't. The awareness to act before the opportunity disappears. Cliffhanger near the close. Imagine this. You're holding a penny in your palm right now. Is it worthless? Or is it the hidden key to $205,000? The answer could already be in your pocket. Final transition. That brings us to the moment of decision. Do not underestimate the power of knowledge and action. Go through your jars. Open that old coffee can of coins. Check every penny, especially those from 2005. Because one coin could be the bridge between where you are now and the wealthy life you've been dreaming of. And if you found value in this journey, subscribe now. This channel is your guide to uncovering the coins that can transform pocket change into a fortune. Don't let the next $1 million secret pass you by, because the next great discovery could already be in your hand. Imagine holding a coin so ordinary that millions of people tossed it into jars, piggy banks, or cash registers. And yet, hidden among them is a version worth over $200,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 2008 Lincoln Memorial penny without a mint mark can carry a value of up to $208,000. That is not a typo. That tiny piece of copper-coated zinc you've ignored could be your ticket to financial freedom. Now, before you dismiss this as too good to be true, let me ask you, how many pennies have you passed through your hands in your lifetime? Hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands. What if just one of them held the power to change your entire financial future? Stay with me. Because in the next few minutes I will show you exactly why this coin is so rare, how collectors are paying life-changing sums for it, and most importantly, how to recognize if the one hiding in your home could be the golden ticket. But fair warning, if you turn this video off, you might never know that the penny sitting in your junk drawer could be the key to a wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed about. Let's start with the basics. The 2008 Lincoln Memorial penny was struck in huge numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Normally, you'd see a little letter under the date, AP or AD marking where it was made. But here's the twist. Some coins slipped out with no mint mark at all. That missing detail turns an everyday penny into a collector's obsession. Now, why does that matter? Think about it like a misprint on a rare book cover. The error instantly makes it unique. Rarity creates demand. And in the coin world, demand creates jaw-dropping value. One of these 2008 no mint mark pennies shocked the market by being valued at $208,000. Imagine the bidding wars. Imagine the excitement of collectors who would stop at nothing to add it to their vault. Here's where it gets emotional. Most people who once owned one of these coins didn't even realize it. They spent it at a gas station. They dropped it on the floor. They let it slip through their fingers. And with it, a small fortune vanished. That's the fear you need to hold on to. The fear of missing out on what could already be in your pocket. But let's not get too heavy. Quick question. When was the last time you actually bent down to pick up a penny off the sidewalk? Most of us ignore it. But after today, I guarantee you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Now, let's talk about identifying one. To spot a no mint mark 2008 penny, check beneath the date on the coin's obverse side. If you see nothing there, no D and no P, hold on tight. Next, you'll want to check its condition. Mint state examples, those crisp, untouched coins, carry the highest values. Collectors will pay exponentially more if the coin looks as though it just left the mint yesterday. And here's a cliffhanger. You might be wondering, how do you know if the coin in your hand is just a common error or the six-figure jackpot version? I'll reveal the insider secret in just a moment. Here's the key. Professional grading. The only way to confirm the true value of your coin is to send it to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts examine every detail under high magnification and assign a grade. If your no mint mark 2008 penny is flawless enough, the market value soars, sometimes all the way into the hundreds of thousands. Now picture this. You mail off a coin that's been sitting in your desk drawer for years. Weeks later, the envelope comes back. Inside is a grade that transforms your penny into a $208,000 asset. Suddenly, you are not just someone who found an old coin. You are someone who unlocked wealth from the most unexpected place. This is where fear turns into excitement. Because now, instead of worrying you've missed your chance, you realize you still have the power to check. The coins are still out there. Some are in circulation. Some are in jars. Some are hidden in family collections waiting for someone with knowledge, someone like you, to uncover them. So let me leave you with this. The world is full of hidden wealth disguised as pocket change. The 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln Memorial Penny is proof. It may look ordinary, but its true value could fund dreams, pay debts, or create generational security. The question is simple. Will you take action and check your coins, or will you let another fortune slip through your hands? If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe. Because the next coin I'm going to reveal is even rarer, even more mysterious, and it could be sitting in your home right now. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.